So, for my final graded assignment in this class, I'm deciding to do another video with the answers to the questions. Let me pull the questions up. So, which term goes best with each thing? Okay. Working with others using web tools such as Google Docs and or Digo. I'd have to say digital communication. Because working with others, you need to communicate. You absolutely have to communicate. If you don't communicate, you're going to get a bad grade, a bad whatever, the product can be terrible. Heck, if it's a job, you could even get fired. Posting your own religious beliefs on a public blog. Digital etiquette. You need to be careful when you post something like that. If you try and shove your beliefs down somebody's throat, that's where the hate's going to come from. That's when people are going to get angry. That's when things are just going to go crazy. That's when a lot of bad stuff's going to happen. Hacking into someone's computer to access financial information. Ooh. I could see three things here. I could see digital law because, well, that's kind of against it. I could see digital rights and responsibilities because you're not supposed to do that. I could see digital security as well because, well, they have the right to keep their information secure. But I'll have to say digital security simply because of the fact that their security is what keeps that information secure, and they have a right to secure information. So since I just said right to secure information, I guess I'll say digital security. I'll just say mostly digital security. Number 4. Purchasing name brand products such as eBay. Digital commerce because you're shopping. That's simple. Using ergonomic feature and workspaces for individuals that spend hours at a desk each day. Digital health and wellness. Because you need to be healthy to be able to do things like that. Even digitally. Texting or emailing a friend while in a collaborative brainstorm meeting. Oh, I already said digital etiquette, didn't I? Which one did I say digital etiquette to? Posting your own religious beliefs in a public blog. I'm gonna change that. No, I'm not. Texting your own. I'd have to say digital literacy. Because you want to be able to get a point across well, you want to be able to know what you're talking about. Even if you can communicate, if you can't get the right point across, it doesn't matter how well you communicate. Scanning computers for viruses on a regular basis while setting up password protected for our computers. I believe I already said this. Which one did I say digital security to? This is why I shouldn't have done a video. Hacking into someone's computer, I'm gonna have to say digital law to that one because, well, this is question 3. Hacking into someone's computer to access financial information, I'm changing to digital law because, well, that's against the law. Scanning computers for viruses, I'm going to say digital security because you have a right to be secure, and those viruses, scanning those viruses to get rid of them will help you be secure. Sharing personal information on a public website / personal blog. I'd have to say, which one didn't I use yet? That's not digital rights and responsibilities though. Oh, this is harder than I thought it'd be. Confession. That's personal blog. Okay. So what am I down to? I'm down to digital rights and responsibilities. Actually, yeah, sharing personal information is kind of a digital right and responsibility. Why? Because you need to be responsible with your own information, make sure stuff doesn't get out. And yet you have a right to share it. So yeah, I'll say digital rights and responsibilities for that one. And finally, number 9, sharing digital audio for blind students or caption videos for those who are hearing impaired. This is easily digital access. So everyone has the access to the information. everyone can view it in some way or another. Part 2. Digital citizenship compass. Use the compass and identify how you feel about each statement. Working on a research paper. Jessica Celebrity did some further investigating on this topic. Found a computer that has been left in by a student who was working on the same subject matter. He didn't see any of the other student content, but he says that the document was left open on the reference pages. The only other person in the area is the librarian, who's in this other room, behind the computer, and Jason decides to copy the other student's reference pages for his own. Wrong. You're cheating. You're outright cheating. Besides, you might not even use the same pages. So how does that even work? That just makes your project even harder. Even if this was morally correct in some way, it's illogical because it makes your project even harder. Anna's hired her working on a music studio. She finds a digital document of the company. It's a that contained name, cell phone number, email address of quite a few famous musicians, producers, and that the studio owner's prop. She did for her own networking purposes. It doesn't bother me, honestly, because if that info is there, it's there. And it's not. Now, granted, if she like called the musicians and they said, "Hey, don't call," so yada yada yada, and she kept on doing it, that'd be a problem. But to be honest, there's nothing morally wrong about taking the information that's there. Heck, if you look, I'm sure you could run a Google search or search hard enough and you'd find it somewhere else. It just so happened to be there. Not to mention she works in that industry, so it makes sense. Number 3, Denise is in the process of applying for a job at Company X. Meanwhile, she sees a Twitter post about her favorite movie. About someone she doesn't know. His tagline says he works for Company X. Oh my. That's a no, because that could be... That's just... I'm not comfortable with it. Because you don't know who that person is. You don't know a thing about them. They could work for Company X. They could be a drug dealer. That could just put you in a hole. In a marathon, come in 3rd place. You win a nice trophy, and your friend snaps a photo of you holding the trophy. Your friend then posts a photo online with the caption saying you won the race. The photo is played on Madrid Albany. The photo comes over one search link, and it declares you are a winner. Not comfortable with it because it's a flat out lie. You work for a club, the owner approaches you, but oh, whoops, missed one. A student has a family trip and realizes it's something to do in one day. The student logs into Folsom University, which you never copy and paste information without getting credit. That is just wrong. It just, it just drives me nuts because then you'll need that information for another thing, and then you won't know where you got it from. Okay, you work for a club. The owner approaches you about knowledge of Photoshop and wants you to add some pictures of the club that are on the club's website. He wants you to add equipment they don't have, and famous stars who have not played there, and to add people to the crowd to make it look like they're more crowded. I'm not comfortable with it because, again, you're lying. I can understand for the crowd shots like that's because you're not influencing, you're not outright, that's stretching the truth because that's a possibility. Well, granted, so there's having a famous person there, but people might come expecting said famous person. They're not going to expect, oh hey, random person in a crowd. You know, they might come specifically for that famous person. They're not going to come because a random person's in a random crowd. Student's favorite musician is releasing a new album. She's struggling financially, but really wants to hear the new album. She finds someone that has the album already and makes herself a copy. I'm gonna put could be right with a few changes. For example, if she, yes, it's piracy. I'm not denying that. if she like stopped struggling financially and then bought the album later, which actually, confession, I did that. Like, I would listen to songs on YouTube. Somebody released the full version on YouTube. I would just listen to those songs, and then I bought the album actually that same day, or no, the next morning. So, confession, I kind of did that. Okay, part 3 is this. What would you do? Answer the question below based on your ideas with digital assistant. Okay, so just answer this question. It's simple enough. You take on a freelance job to clean up and streamline a computer for a colleague. As you begin the project, you notice the person may not be digitally native / fluent with computers. The computer they wish to work on contains four file management exposing financial and personal records. In addition, profiters are easily accessible. What is your responsibility to them and their information? This is a really easy question. You explain to them how they can make their information more secure. Just say this is why this is a problem. This is what we can do to fix it. So you want me to show you how to do it. If they say no, if they say don't do that, then it's immediately off your hands because you offer. You've done enough. You recently started a small company creating X, building into the company's image. You fabricate employees' projects in the background to help you build your new image and spark quick growth. A large corporation contacts for their next project. They decide to go with you because your expertise and knowledge of the area. Put details of the company's project borders and number of employees, according to background that you'll fabricate but do not actually have. What do? You be honest? I wouldn't even fabricate the background in the first place. Your little brother is a very active online gamer. Huh, sounds like me. He comes to you crying, telling you that's not looking over the having said strange and threatening things to him. Welcome to the internet. I'm sorry that was unprofessional, but still, that's the internet for you. He is not free to play this record game. You don't know these strangers are. But you know what? When your brother was online and playing on the network, what can you do? 1, you can either tell him get on at different times, or 2, most online game services have like parental controls, and you can block people. You can block people, you can mute people, you can report people. Find those, use them. You see a vintage car for sale on eBay for a price. You really want it, but the pricing is a little too good to be true. The eBay ad has raw photos that list the car's features and the location of the seller. What steps would you take to ensure the authenticity of this car or of this offer? Easy. Compare it with other websites. See if they offer the same thing. See if the car has been majorly recalled in any way. Just cross-reference. If a bunch of sources say the same thing or close to the same thing, then it's probably true. Your sister has a favorite car that she won a trip to Juarez, Mexico. It got damaged recently, and you want to replace it for a birthday gift. You don't know where it was purchased, and you live far away from Mexico. All you have is a scarf, vacation photos, and a good internet connection. What digital tools could you use to hunt down and purchase a birthday surprise? Ooh, this one's tough. Well, first of all, I would look at places in Juarez, or yeah, I think that's Juarez, and see, okay, what sells a scarf in Juarez? Do some referencing there so you can find it that way. If you find something close but you're unsure, then go to social networks. Talk to our friends. Talk to your parents, maybe they know something. And just get little bits of info where you can. Play the detective. Play, okay, where did this come from? Find it. Contact the seller and get it. If you want to plan a party for your best friend to celebrate the recent promotion, you want to reach as many of your friends as possible. You want to keep it secret. You and your friend use almost all the same social networks. What tools or communication methods could you use to invite people to the secret event? Easy. Direct or private messages on social networks. But you have to do it one by one. Email is an option. You could also email people. Heck, flyers are an option. You could do something like that. Just like hand out flyers or something. Or if you really want to be really, really sneaky, you could say, you could plan to upgrade your friend's internet. And then while the internet's down, then you're on a social network, sitting there, making this announcement, and then like say it's on Twitter, you post a tweet, and then you delete it a blank amount of hours later, right when his internet gets repaired. Wow. I'm thinking ably. Granted, that last one is just a, if nothing else works kind of thing. Well, I'm sorry for the very lack of ability to speak clearly. I hope this works well. Thank you for watching.